Have you ever waited years to watch a movie and then you finally get to do it and you're super disappointed? Yeah, that's me with the BELKO Experiment right now. Let me explain. If you haven't seen the BELKO Experiment, I want to say it's a 2019 film, but it's this office building in the middle of Colombia for some odd reason that's like super heavily security guarded with some old like hangars next door to it, but nobody's really questioning up until all this shit goes down what the hell the hangars are for. But this big voice comes over the intercom at this building. We don't know what the fuck they make or what they do. And it tells them they have, I think, 45 minutes to kill half their staff or they're all going to get yeeted. How, you might ask? Well, apparently to work for this company, you have to have a tracker placed in the back of your neck. Because apparently a lot of people get kidnapped in Colombia and that's how they're going to track you down. Well, that seems really easy. We can just leave the building, right? Wrong, because they put it into lockdown with like metal all over some windows. Except you can go up onto the roof. And then the rest of the movie is everybody just trying to survive, but they're having to kill each other and yada yada. You can kind of figure it out. Except you can't. And that's where I'm upset. Because even on the poster of this movie, I don't know if you can see it, it says it's Office Space meets Battle Royale. Or somebody else described it as The Office meets Saw, right? So I'm expecting a dark comedy. Which sounds weird. It probably sounds bad. But, like, if you tell me it's The Office meets Saw, I'm thinking, okay, Bob from accounting is going to bludgeon Linda from fucking HR to death with a stapler. Somebody's head's getting mashed in the copy machine. Somebody's getting strangled to death with a, oh god, one of the strips that you plug everything into. But no, we don't get any of that because this building is super, like, high guarded. There's a whole security section with fucking weapons, so people have guns. And then they go into the kitchen in the cafeteria and grab knives. That's a fucking cop-out. What's the point of putting this in an office building if we're not going to use office material except, like, one time? Everybody could have ganged up on the CEO, who should have also been trapped in the building, and then we could have done that whole thing. And then by the end of the movie, the only thing we really know is that it was some kind of social experiment? For what? And also, okay, so anybody who worked locally, like I said, this building office thing was like in the middle of Colombia for some odd reason. And I guess they have buildings all over the world. But they told anybody who lived locally in Colombia, like Colombia local / people who are from them, and to stay home. They were turning them around at the gate because they had ultra high security going on, right? So anybody who worked there was originally from like either the States, Australia, basically anywhere else in the world. But presumably, because a lot of them had families. Y'all don't think the families were going to ask questions later on? Y'all don't think the people who are from Colombia that worked at the building are going to talk later? This was so many missed opportunities. Now, personally, had I done it, like I said, this would have gone dark comedy. We'd be using any, like, office supplies around, okay? Somebody's getting a highlighter to the face. But also, my casting would have gone completely different because I would have brought in comedic actors from, like, different shows that we know from offices. So, John H. Benjamin, Judy Greer also coming on. Steve Carell. The asshole attending guy from Scrubs was in there. He can stay. And Kirk from Gilmore Girls. He can stay, too. We can have America Ferrera be in there since she was Ugly Betty. The guy who plays Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. I can't remember his name. Oh, and Michael Rooker can stay, too, because he's just wonderful. But on a side note, if we're going to test Woody Harrelson for being Matthew McConaughey's brother, don't you think we should test Michael Rooker, too? I think they look enough alike they could be at least distant cousins. But you get where I'm going with this. Oh, and also the main guy, Michael, should have been Charlie Day. So because of all the missed opportunities we could have had to have a really great movie, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. I don't know why. I'm being generous. You know what? I'm not being that generous. 3 out of 10. Yeah, 3 out of 10. Okay, bye. Because I've got an office space, baby, and I'll write your name on your grave.